Let's talk about what's going right in the world, shall we? Wikipedia picks up $140,000 in Bitcoin donations in just 1 week. So people have been knocking down the door of Wikipedia and the Wikimedia Foundation saying, please, you've been begging us for money with your ridiculous banner at the top of the screen, always begging, saying, Wikipedia needs your help, send me money. We would like to be doing that, and you don't accept Bitcoin. So how many years? I guess it took about 2-3 years before they finally decided to cave to the Bitcoin donors who have been trying to give them money. Now they said, okay, we'll accept it. And in the first week, they get $140,000. That's not chump change. Looks like people have been wanting to give for a while. In late July, this article from TechCrunch.com, Wikipedia announced that it would accept donations in Bitcoin. In the first week of accepting Bitcoin, Wikipedia racked up $140,000 in new funds. According to Coinbase, the service that powers its cryptocurrency influx. So that's interesting. They chose to go with Coinbase, a third-party processor, for their Bitcoin instead of taking and accepting the Bitcoin directly. I'm kind of scratching my head on that one. Why wouldn't you just accept Bitcoin directly, your Wikipedia? Remember when, who was it? Was it Wikipedia or, oh, it was WikiLeaks who had their sources of funding shut down way back when the Edward Snowden revelations were happening, and even before that, right, with the Bradley Manning revelations. So Wikipedia, or not, excuse me, WikiLeaks has a history of having their donations cut off. Why would anyone go through a third-party processor when the government can just pull the lever on that and say, no more? Wouldn't it make sense to set up their infrastructure to accept Bitcoin directly? I don't know. And maybe it's for accounting purposes. Maybe they just want to get their feet wet. I can't blame them. They're at least going for it, where other companies aren't. So good for you, Wikipedia. CoinDesk, a publication that tracks Bitcoin and other alternative digital currencies, heralds the news as suggesting the staying power of the digital currency donations owing to the combination of tax benefits and transaction cost savings. Wow, what a complicated way to say it saves you money and it's easy to send across the internet. I'm slightly more skeptical, writes this author at TechCrunch, but it is without doubt that the donations are welcome at Wikipedia. As TechCrunch previously reported, the Wikimedia Foundation, parent to Wikipedia, doesn't intend to hold Bitcoin, and that's stupid. Why? I mean, come on, I don't know. I guess it's speculative, right? They want to make sure that they have their money. But why convert good currency, good digital freedom currency like Bitcoin, into trash like Federal Reserve notes? And then worse, digital Federal Reserve notes. Ew. TechCrunch also noted that the foundation raised $18.7 million last year, making this $140,000 less than 1% of its prior haul. But 1% in a week could add up to a tidy figure, provided Bitcoin donations continue. Yeah, I mean, think about how small the Bitcoin community is compared to the rest of the whole global economy. Everything else. Well, everyone's welcome to donate to Wikipedia. So what's the Bitcoin community represent? About less than 0.5% of the global economy? So they should be like less than 0.5% of the Wikipedia donations, you would think. But they're not. Doesn't look like they're going to be. Coinbase doesn't charge non-profit transaction fees. That's nice. So at least they're saving them some money during the processing. But still, why convert great Bitcoins into Federal Reserve notes? They're so limited. They're so taxable. They fund wars. They keep the empire afloat. The idea that it's legitimate. All these presidents on paper money that we pass around in exchange for value like labor. Give our blood and our sweat in exchange for this crap? No. Well, one day Wikipedia will just accept Bitcoin. One day that will be the case. They will just say, of course, we've been accepting Bitcoin for 10 years now, and now we're just going to hold on to the Bitcoin. We're not going to convert it into Federal Reserve notes. Can you imagine the shockwaves that's going to send? I mean, remember when some of the countries in the Middle East, I think it was Iran, who said, we're not going to exchange oil for Federal Reserve notes. We're going to deal in pounds or yuan or whatever the other currency they decided to choose was, but not Federal Reserve notes. You know, the dollar world reserve currency status is what supposedly gives the dollar so much of its value. But as people start to devalue it, as people start to not value it as much as other currencies, it loses its usefulness. It loses its appeal. And as people start to equate these war dollars with the endless wars overseas, I think we'll see people stop using them in favor of currencies like Bitcoin in droves. Call in 443-424-8347 or Skype us. This is Peace News Now.